So the Community Foundation of North Central Massachusetts is a nonprofit organization that was created by people who live and work in this region to try to marshal the philanthropy and the philanthropic spirit of North Central Massachusetts and direct it to the problems and issues and opportunities that are here in our region.
The impact that we're able to have in our community is solely because of the donors that we have.
Without the donors, we don't have an organization. So at the end of the day, we need to encourage people to be as generous as possible. And we also have to find ways to educate more people in the community about the value of the Community Foundation and also the value of being philanthropic.
When you work with us to do your giving rather than one of the larger corporate options, you are contributing to local philanthropy right here in North Central Massachusetts. So we support 33 communities throughout the region, and every single dollar that you contribute goes back into those communities.
I think an organization like the Community Foundation is really needed because of their boots on the ground expertise of the problems, the challenges, opportunities within our specific region, and a lot of strong perspective on the different nonprofit organizations that are trying to address those things.
The Community Foundation provided us with resources, but I think even more importantly, they provided their support and their faith and their confidence in us, and helped to bring in other organizations and other funders to support Growing Places. And that provided us with credibility, which makes all the difference in being able to grow our capacity and also bring in more resources.
I work and I live in Fitchburg, and I work with the most needy families. And I see the impact that the Community Foundation has on the community here. It's not only about let's look at one or two single programs in the community and let's skip the rest. It's really an assessment of what are the real community needs, who are the people creating impact in community, and how does this organization support them.
We've just got great people involved. We have an amazing staff.
I think the energy that they put in, the people who are so easy to work with and committed, just inspire you.
It's rewarding just to work with people who don't have any motive other than helping other people.
It is a relatively small organization. It's very personal. If you have questions actually about what they're doing with your money, or if you have suggestions what you'd like them to do with your money, you can talk to the people who are making those decisions.
When donors are able to tell us what really matters to them, then we can say, this is an issue, what can we do about this? Let's pull people together and come up with a solution.
I cannot think of a better place to have a donor advice fund. You get support, you get help in choosing local charities, anything you need to know, somebody is there to assist you. You know your money is in a safe place. And also, if there's something that you want to give to that maybe isn't local, that's totally fine. And you can incorporate it into your own giving plan that makes it meaningful for you and your family.
So we've received multiple grants from the Community Foundation. Most recently, a lot of the grants we've received have been for our therapeutic farm program located in Gardner. There's 2 programs located on our 115-acre farm. We have the Carl E. Dollhouse, which is a 16-bed co-occurring enhanced program for men struggling with both substance use and mental health. And we also have Roots at Evergreen Grove, which is an outpatient program for young people ages 12 to 24 who may be struggling or starting to show the signs of struggling with either mental health or substance use. I'd say without the Community Foundation, projects like ours that are very unique wouldn't even be able to happen. You know, we're primarily based on service revenue when we deliver services, but when we try to think outside the box and innovate, you know, the service revenue we receive, because we serve people strictly with low or no income, there's no room within that rate structure to do things that are innovative or new. So we really rely on partners like the Community Foundation to, you know, augment our funding and give us an opportunity to really explore new approaches to the work. I just can't say enough how vital they are to the success of that program.
I'm a former psychotherapist, and I know that it's often difficult to engage people in a therapeutic process. But because the setup of this organization, they were strikingly successful. And I thought this was a great organization to be supporting.
When I got the most excited about working with the Community Foundation was when I shared the story about the food system, and 4 months later, Steve called me back and said, I think we may have some way to support this effort. There was CDBG funding that all of the community foundations received during the pandemic, and our community foundation wanted to make sure that it had a huge impact. So Growing Places in the Community Foundation have worked side by side to identify where the gaps are in the food system to ensure that the money is being dispersed to the farmers, the consumers, and the middle tier that moves the food from the farmers to the consumers and institutions, which is really what was needed in order to make our food system work.
When COVID hit, we had no idea about how we were going to service families at home. And just the fact that the Community Foundation was mindful about the immediate needs families had, such as food, basic toiletries, and they responded so immediately, was humbling.
Previously, the Community Foundation really had one overarching grant program that covered a wide range of different topics and impact areas and kind of rolled up all through one program. And a few years ago, they pivoted and segmented specific impact grants for different areas. And I think that was a big change in the right direction for the Community Foundation to bring in people and expertise with specific skill sets in an area and get a little bit more focused and drive even more positive impact in those different specific areas.
We are here in our community and we know our community. We know the nonprofits, we know the needs, we know the issues that are happening here.
They really are intertwined into the community, which I think is great. They're real names and faces, you know, it's not a blind process by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that helps them understand when they're receiving these grant applications. They could say, you know, yeah, we know this group or we know this issue and the people working on it. And I think that's incredibly important.
Community Foundation really values the input of community workers like me, and I'm program manager for a center that provides resources. So sitting in the Community Foundation allows me to say and speak about the needs that are in the community, what things really work and what things are lacking, and the disparities and inequities and where they lay. So I think having a true seat at the table matters.
I come from a strong family tradition that has always been deeply rooted in North Central Massachusetts and committed to giving back. And we simply trust the Community Foundation to be our partner in doing good works. They've really helped us customize our charitable approach at the Aubuchon Company. And they've done that in two ways to help us support our purpose, which is to make a difference by serving others. First, with the Moran Fund. It's an employee relief fund that helps us help our coworkers in times of need. And two, with the Aubuchon Foundation, which helps to match all local fundraising for all of our stores in support of local charities.
One of the impacts the Community Foundation has had when working with Bemis in the past couple of years to help us kind of revamp our community grant program, one of the main criteria or common denominators across those grants is that there's got to be some Bemis employee that's engaged or interested or has recommended that organization, because we really want to prioritize funding and providing grants to organizations that Bemis employees are really involved in, to kind of give this little extra incentive, like, hey, employee, get out there, engage, get connected, like there's a little accountability now. And so what we've seen over the past couple of years is just the list of nonprofits that have some type of Bemis relationship or engagement with an employee has grown a lot. And so it's helped those Bemis employees that have a relationship with the organization to feel accountable and get out and really engage and have a little bit more of a sense of pride and a little bit of accountability to get out and play a part in the community.
I think one of the most important things that donors need to know is that the Community Foundation is a steward of their charitable contributions. We take that responsibility very seriously.
So we work with our donors beyond today to look to the future. We have endowments that are going to last forever. And so we look to our donors to help us continue to shape our vision and to bring more people into the fold here at the Community Foundation.
The fact that we've grown and been successful over the first 20 plus years says there's a need and a recognition that we're doing good in the community. And I think as long as we continue to do a good job, the need's going to continue to be there, and hopefully we'll earn more support from more donors so that we can generate more grant money to put into the community each year.
Come and meet the Community Foundation, really, because I think when you're looking to give, even as an individual, when I think about giving, and I get solicited just like everyone else from these large organizations, and I don't really know where my money's going to go. I don't know how the organization is run. I don't know what their administrative overhead is. I don't know how impactful my dollar is going to be. I think when you work with a group like the Community Foundation, you're going to know exactly how you're impacting your community. And if you want to go and see that work, you can do it.
Putting our money into the Community Foundation has allowed them to do a lot of good work, and that makes us feel good.
If I could say something to someone who wanted to donate to the Community Foundation, I'd say you're putting your dollars in the right place because it's going to go where it's needed most.
For us, it has been just a wonderful experience. We've enjoyed being connected with this organization, and it's really worth exploring it and seeing how it fits for you.
I think if everyone worked collectively together, we could really make a difference together.
So there's lots of different ways to leave a legacy, to thank the people that came before each of us, but also to pave the way for the people who will follow us.
There is wealth in this region that doesn't yet know that we're here to help them. And there's opportunity, and the energy of the people of North Central Mass is very positive. So we're looking forward to a bright future.
Turning your generosity
into impact.